All right, we've been doing this Christ-like marriage podcast trial, and we've been spending all our time talking about Christ-like marriage. How about we do our story this show? What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea. Let's do that.
We're going to do our story, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. I'm Lori.
And I'm Joey. We're talking about Christ-like marriage and family. Today we're going to do a different episode. We're going to talk about our story, how we got married, how we got together, and how we became a blended family. Before we do that, I'm going to read something out of one of my favorite Bibles. This is a Greek and Hebrew text aid Bible. So it's a cool Bible. And somebody special got this for me. I wonder who that might be. Actually, she got us both one.
Yep.
Lori is the Bible collector, and we probably got 20 Bibles in the house. No joke. I guess it's
not bad.
I guess there's worse habits than that, right?
Yeah.
But this Bible is a keyword Greek and Hebrew study. And I am not very good with Hebrew, but I'm pretty good with Greek. So that's just what this Bible is. And it gives you words and the Greek references and stuff like that. So I like this Bible. So I'm going to read out this Bible, Proverbs chapter 31, a very familiar passage. And I know this story is our story, but really it's a story how this man met this awesome woman. So let me read something here. An excellent wife, who can find? For her worth is far above jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. So, and to be honest, that sums up this woman right here for me. She does me good from the day we met. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to put this over here. So we are Christ-like marriage and family issues. And so I felt it was fitting to start off with the Bible reading today. And so before we forget, what are we supposed to say about, hit the like button?
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe and comment. Look, YouTube is kind of slow on getting your videos out if you don't help us. It ain't about us, being famous. We want to get out there and have the video available so we can help you and more people that are having marriage issues or family issues, especially blended families. And we're going to talk about that. Blended families. We're going to have two aspects to our shows. One about Christ-centered marriage and two about blended families. That is what we are. And we're going to talk about that a little more today. So please help us get that algorithm flowing and help us get this video, our podcast out here. And go to our website, our YouTube page, and like us and subscribe. And website. Maybe we'll get a website going one day.
Maybe.
That's
One
down
thing
the road.
at a time. Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. So here we go. Our story begins back in 2010 after we had been recently divorced. And look, yes, we are Christians. We've been Christians since we were little bitty. And God hates divorce. Yes, that is true. But I don't believe that just because you were divorced doesn't mean you can get remarried again. Maybe I'll do a show about that. Maybe I will do, if you want me to, I will do a show about remarriage, Christian remarriage. But we believe that Christians can get remarried, but we also believe that divorce must be biblical. So, and that's another story. But anyways,
Whole new show.
Whole new show. Maybe one day I'll do that. So keep looking. Maybe one day I'll say, okay, this week's going to be the show on divorce and remarriage, biblical perspective, the real deal. I know there's a lot of stories out there and a lot of different versions, a lot of different opinions. But we are of the opinion that if you've been divorced under biblical grounds, which we have, you can get remarried. And I do believe the Bible permits that. So that was kind of off script, but this episode is going to be off script. We got some notes here that we're going to follow, but this is going to be an off script episode. So we knew each other previously, but we really didn't become close friends until after we'd been divorced. So we'll get that out in the open. We went to church together. But we really didn't become close friends till after we got divorced. So we started talking to each other in the kitchen of the church before Sunday school, and we both showed up early, and it was like we were both looking for each other at that coffee pot. And I think, I don't know, she might say it differently, but I think after she knew I got divorced, she had been divorced previously, and so she knew that I was probably hurting. And so she wanted to comfort me and console me and maybe help me. And felt that. I felt that. So that was a big, big plus for me. So we talked about our struggles with in life and how we just got divorced and how we feel and it was struggling. When you divorce or death of a spouse is a life altering situation and you will struggle. And we both helped each other talk through that. We vented. You can say we vented about our life.
Yeah.
And the struggles we had. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So, and then we kind of went on a setup date. So you talk about that.
We had two different couples at our church. One couple invited me to lunch, the other couple invited him to lunch, and then little did we know that they kind of planned it out to where we would all be at lunch together. And so we ended up going to lunch together with this group of people and kind of hit it off, I guess.
Yeah, we hit it off.
And then so we just kind of started talking.
And I remember, she said she don't remember this. There are probably things that she remembers that I don't. You know, every couple has that. But I remember the day we walked out of that restaurant, I walked her to her Suburban. And I asked her if it'd be okay if I would call her, or get her phone number, or message her. And she gave me that little grin and just like that. And she said it would be great. And so I think I texted her, sent her a message right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember him doing that, but there's a lot of things I don't remember. I don't know if it's just because I'm old, but anyway. So we just started talking and we agreed to call each other. I remember we sent some Facebook messages to each other too. And
yeah.
I remember, this is off script, but I went, even though I was divorced from my ex-husband, I was still close to his family, and I went on a family trip with them, so Thanksgiving or something, I don't remember what it was. And I would message him while I was on trips, you know, with the kids or whatever. We would still talk and, you know, back and forth, just talking about stuff.
Yep. So, and this all happened right before Christmas. And so I was in the Air Force during this time. And the Air Force, when I was in, they had a deal around Christmas to where half of your people worked Christmas week and the other half took off Christmas week. I decided to take off New Year's week because I'd just been divorced. I don't have any kids. I'm by myself. So, I mean, well, let the people with families take off Christmas. So I'm working 12 hours from 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning every day. And somehow, I don't know if she wanted to meet or I wanted to meet, but somehow we decided to meet early in the morning after I had left work. So we meet at the Waffle House, and I'm in my Air Force uniform, and we meet at the Waffle House. Yep. And that was our first official date. It was like a spontaneous date. And we sat there for about 2 hours talking, drinking coffee.
Breakfast, drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee. We established one of our favorite routines, drinking coffee.
Yep.
That's what we do together.
Still drink coffee. Yep.
That's right. And then Lori invited me over for Christmas. I think it was right after that. It wasn't but a few days after the Waffle House experience that Lori invited me over to her house for Christmas. And it was really a surprise to me because I'm thinking, you know, we're not even really dating. And here she is, a single parent with 3 young boys, and she invites me over her house. So I better be on my best behavior. And I go over there, and the oldest boy, he knew me for a long time, and so we were friendly to each other, and I would play sports with him at the church. So he kind of liked me anyways. And the 2 youngest boys, they didn't really know me very well. They saw me at the church, but that was about it. And so we sat down, and you had a card for me. And you know what? I better get that. Hold on. I'm going to step away. I'm going to get that card.
Yeah, where you got it?
You can talk real quick.
So the oldest boy gave him a Kentucky hat, baseball hat, right? And because he's from Kentucky and he was a big Kentucky basketball fan. So that's a Christmas card.
Yep. I still got this.
I can't believe he still has it.
From 14 years ago. I still have this card. And it says, from Lori, I'm thankful that we are friends. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And then the oldest boy, Keaton, he's 25 now. He said to Joey, hope you like it. Talking about a hat. Cool, a white baseball hat with the UK for Kentucky, because I'm from Kentucky and I was a big Kentucky basketball fan. Said from Keaton. So I've kept this since then, 14 years.
Yeah.
So, but then the two youngest boys, one was uh, 5,
Yeah.
and the other one was 2. And of course, they're unwrapping toys, and they're wanting me to sit down and help them unwrap toys. So I'm sitting down unwrapping toys with them, and I'm thinking, this is neat. This is kind of cool. I like this. And I'm telling you, I knew from that day on, this woman was going to be my wife. We hadn't even started dating. I was like, I knew it. She's going to be my wife. I knew I was going to marry her. Okay, so
we
you do
started
next.
dating in early January. We went out on the weekends, and at that time, the custody arrangement was the boys would be with me one weekend and they would be with their dad the other weekend. So we made sure that we went out on dates on the weekends where the boys were with their dad. Because at the time I was going through divorce care, and one of the things they taught us was, one, not to change too many things at once for your kids. Don't just rip them out of the house they're living in, the church they're in, the school they're in. Don't change everything because it's too traumatic for them. And when you start dating again, don't introduce them to every person you go out with, because then they're going through that whole get to know the person and then they're gone, and get to know the person and they're gone. And so we just made sure that at first we only went on dates when the boys were not there, because even though he felt like he knew he was going to marry me, we still wanted to take it slow and get to know each other before we brought the boys in. And even though we saw each other at church and the boys saw him at church, that's different than him being up the house or going out and doing things together. So,
but everything was so sudden, and then I went from the guy at church that helps with the kids program, and they play games with during the kids program, and the guy that's dating their mom, and we didn't want to make that big transition. Oh, the guy that works in the kids program is going to date my mom, so we slowly introduced that.
mm-hmm.
So then we started bringing the boys out with us.
Yep. I think the first place we went, there was a Pizza Hut in town
with the playroom.
Had a playroom.
I jumped out there with them, played
with them,
and the bouncy balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Going down them slides that I'm too big for, and the bouncy balls, but
yeah.
That was fun.
That's the one thing he always did, and I mean the boys are older now. The youngest one is now 16, and so he still does things with him, but it's just different things.
Yeah. Well, I do big thing, boys, with my oldest boy. When I helped him go out and buy a gun, I helped him pick a gun for himself. He's 25, so we bought a gun together, and last weekend, So that's fun. We still all do things together.
Yeah.
So we dated for 3 months after Christmas, and then the Air Force said your lucky number came up. You're going to Kuwait. Well, man, wow. And so I told her, and then I went and bought a ring. That's it. I went and bought a ring. I was like, asked her to marry me, and of course she did. She gave me that smile and that grin and the giggle, and so we got engaged near the end of March, and then I left for Kuwait in May. I was there from May to November, 6 months, and while we were gone, we were planning everything. Well, she planned everything and just told me, what do you think? And I, yep, go ahead, go. Yep.
He was like, just tell me where to go and what time to be there.
Yep. Whatever you want to buy, just take my card and get it. Yep. So we planned it out, and we got married at her sister's house. And you're talking about that?
Well, we wanted to keep it simple, and so my sister has not a huge house, but big enough to had a nice fireplace and a hearth, and she had our colors were just like navy blue and silver, and it was in December, so it was Christmas time. She had a Christmas tree up, and so it just provided a nice backdrop, and it was just us and our immediate families and a handful of close friends.
My dad was there, and his wife was there,
and my sister, of course, and our brother, and we were just a handful of friends from church, and it was nice. We just had it there. We had a friend of ours that was our Sunday school teacher at the
Mhm.
time. He officiated the ceremony and just had like not a big, huge, fancy wedding cake, just a simple wedding cake. And, we just wanted to keep it simple. And so we did. It was pretty. It was nice. And I was glad my sister was able to let us use your house.
And her sister's a twin.
Yeah.
They're twins. She has a twin sister.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Twin stories on that.
Yeah. And I became an instant dad. Here I had a failed marriage, didn't have any kids before, and now I became an instant dad. I was excited. I'm going to be super dad. Sometimes I was, and sometimes I wasn't. And we learned something. It was a struggle. I thought, I'm going to do this. I got ideas. I'm going to do this. I got this idea. I got that idea. It's going to be great. Sometimes it was. Sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it was really, really, really hard. And it was hard for both of us, because kind of put in the middle.
Well, even when he was not deployed, his shifts were all over the place. So he might work a shift where he would leave to go right before we got home from school, and he would get back home after we'd already gone to bed, or he might work that midnight to 7 in the morning shift. And it was rarely times where we actually were home together, except maybe on weekends. So we had that to deal with. So it took us. I mean, through all the last several months, it's really hit us that we really
Didn't know what
didn't know what we didn't know, but we didn't know that we really didn't know each other as well as we thought we did, because we were either he was gone or either his shifts kept him away from home. And so when he retired, 2017?
Yeah, the end of it.
When he retired, then it was like, oh, he's home all the time now. Then we actually kind of got to know each other better. And the whole step family thing, there were times where he would try to discipline the boys, and the older two they didn't really fight back much, but the youngest one is a little bit what's the word, strong-willed. And so that was kind of a battle. And so I had to learn. I felt caught in the middle a lot. And so, because I wanted to support my husband, but also wanted to support my kid. And through this, since we went to the marriage conference back in May, I really learned that I have to support my husband first. And then I think we've seen, he's not perfect. He's still got a lot of growing to do, but I think we've seen a change in the youngest son since I started. We kind of put on a united front with some of his behaviors. I think that's helped calm that down a little bit, because he sees us together.
Yep. So when I first got married, the person that officiated our wedding, he gave me this book, The Smart Stepdad by Ron Deal. This guy right here, Ron Deal. Awesome guy. And I've done a couple of online training courses with him, and I've done some live streams with him. Awesome guy. This guy, he works with Family Life, and they're a Christian organization that deals with family issues, and he does the blended family section. He's the head of that. And when I first got this book, I'm gonna be honest, I read a couple of chapters and like, I don't need that. I can be a good dad. I can do it. I'm just as strong-willed as that young boy of ours, maybe even more. I got great ideas. I can do it. Now, we went to that Family Life conference back in May, and Ron Deal talked for an hour about step family problems and issues, and I was just thinking, that's me. That's me. If only I knew 13 years ago what I now know. And here's another good book, The Smart Step Family, Ron Deal. If you are in a blended family to where you came from divorces, or your spouse died and you're bringing kids into another marriage, these books are incredible. This book.
They have a stepmom.
Stepdad, yeah, stepmoms too.
But he didn't have kids, so I didn't.
This book's incredible. The one thing that was a plus for me, and this guy said there's like 67 different step family situations. 67. I was in probably the easiest category to her. I had no kids, but she had kids. So I didn't bring my own kids. So that, I can imagine having 3 kids of my own, and she had 3 kids, and we brought them together. But that's a
Happens.
reality for
Yeah.
a lot of step families. A lot of people that get divorced and remarried or have these situations where a spouse dies and they bring kids into a new marriage. But these resources have been very, very beneficial to me and to her too. But the problem is, it took me 13 years to finally start reading this. And after I read this, this is the second book I read. I read another book that he did, and and talked about the 5 love languages and all the different things that I didn't know. And I'm thinking, if only I knew that before. I'm not saying things would be perfect, but they'd been better.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know. You don't know, but you don't know. Right. You don't know what you don't know. So, anyways, our marriage has been really good. So, I don't want to paint a picture that our marriage has been terrible. Our marriage has been great. We have had some struggles, but we have done the whole family unit thing. We've been on vacations and we did weekend trips together, and we go out, restaurants every weekend or so, and
Mm-hmm.
we play family games and we watch movies together and do Bible studies. We did a lot of things together, but we had struggles too. I'm not the dad. I'm the stepdad. And sometimes the boys just had trouble with me and I had trouble with them. And she had trouble with all of it. You had them going against me going against them, and her saying, I just want to run away.
I just want everybody to get along.
Yeah. And we went to church. One of the things I would say, the number one thing that has kept us together is our faith in Jesus Christ. Our church involvement, our Bible studies, prayer life, keeping everybody, the boys, her and me, keeping us all grounded on the gospel of Christ, the Bible. That's what kept us together. And that's the thing. That's what we're trying to say. That is the key to everything. Okay, so you take over.
Well, we talked about the separation of the Air Force trip, so that was always tough. How many trips did you go on? 3?
5 when we were married.
Was it that
yeah,
many?
5.
Gosh.
Yep. Well,
It just
you
seemed like
count the engagement period.
every year and a half. He was home for about a year and a half, then he'd be gone. Then he'd come home about a year and a half, then he'd be gone. And so that was always an adjustment, because it was like he was home, and even though he might have been working a shift where he wasn't physically in the home, he was still here. And when he would leave, he would kind of leave me a budget, and here's what I have, Mr. Spreadsheet Master budget guy, and he would leave me the spreadsheet, and he would, okay, this is what you have for bills and stuff, but he would have all that taken care of. Like the only thing I would have to do is that grocery shop, and can't even tell you how much stress that took away, because having to be a school teacher and 3 small kids and taking care of a house and all that was a lot. And so he would do that, and so make sure those bills were taken care of, and we had money for groceries, and so we did that, and then he would come home, and it was always an adjustment when he left and an adjustment when he came back home, because even though we wanted him here, we were used to doing things by ourselves, and then when he'd come home, and we would have to kind of reconnect and figure out life with all of us here, and that's not a bad thing. It's just an adjustment. It's just something we had to do. But we figured it out, and like you said, if a lot of things that I've been through in my life, not just divorce, without our faith in Jesus Christ, I don't know where we'd be.
That's right. And that's,
And the church helped us a lot too. I would say the church was there, helped us a lot during those times.
And that brings us to near the end of this video. And the reason why we started these podcasts, and right now they're not very great, and we had trouble with our setup and our sound. We're going to get there. We're going to get better, and we're going to have better content. And as we go, we'll listen to what you tell us, your comments. So please comment, ask questions, and we want to know, what do you want to hear from us? What do you want us to talk about? What are the struggles you have in your marriage or your family? And we want to talk about that. It doesn't matter if you're a blended family or not. We want to help you with that, because we are passionate about learning the marriage the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate using the term biblical marriage or Christian marriage, because there really is no other way.
Yep.
The only marriage that I see is the marriage that the Bible defines. And that marriage is a Christ-centered marriage.
Yep.
That's God ordained. If God hasn't ordained it, it's not marriage.
Yep.
You can call it something, you can call it whatever you want to, but if it's not God ordained, it's not marriage. And we believe that. And so we have a passion to help you in your marriage. and help you grow in your marriage. And maybe if we, man, wouldn't it be great if we could save people from divorce
Mm-hmm.
and then save you from divorce, bring you over from the edge, pull you back, and try to help you reconcile each other.
Mm-hmm.
We went to this marriage conference in May, and divorce was not even an issue. We didn't think that our marriage was falling apart, but we knew we kind of grown stale and we've been disconnected a little bit. And there were some areas in our marriage that needed some improvement. We've been kind of hostile towards each other and kind of grow distance. But that 3 days of that marriage conference, we realized that our problem was much bigger than we thought. And we realized what was the number one thing that our problem was: communication.
Mm-hmm.
Communication. Once we started talking to each other seriously, talking about our issues and working things out, so things started getting better. So you may not be able to go to a marriage conference, but you can listen to us and we can try to help you. So that's what our goal is. In the marriage, Christ-like marriage. How can we help you in your marriage? Number two, if you're in a blended family or step family, or you come from a divorce and maybe your spouse come from divorce and you've been remarried, or you've lost your spouse and you've been remarried, and you bring all these other siblings together and you have a blended family. You're thinking, wow, this is not going the way I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. We need help. That's what we're going to try to do. But we want to know what your specific problem is. What is your specific issues? Now, when we were at this conference and when we were reading these books, one of the things that they were in another podcast that we listened to, The Fierce Family, Ryan, Selena, Frederick, another good resource.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things what's the thing they always say?
I always say, go to your church.
Yes.
Go to your church
Go
and
to your
get counseling.
church.
Go to your church and get help. Go find a mentor couple or whatever. And we would look at each other and go, we don't have that at our church.
Look,
We
we're
don't.
not slamming the church we went to previously. We're not. But we just didn't have marital resources. We just didn't. And maybe they just didn't know how to do that. Maybe they didn't have somebody that wanted to step up and say, I want to do that. I want to do the marriage resource. Now, we had considered, proposing that, hey, we'd like to do blended family. But then they probably look at us like we're crazy because, the thing that I read is most churches don't support a blended family ministry because it appears that you're saying it's okay for divorce. It appears that if you do a step family ministry, then you're given an okay to divorce. So that's one of the reasons why they don't do that, which is we need to get over that. We need to get over it because, like they say in these books, divorces happen,
Mm-hmm.
whether you like it or not.
And divorce is higher in blended families because they get together thinking, oh, everything's going to be great, our problems are going to be solved, but then they just have new problems. And instead of sticking it out and working through their problems, they just, okay, well, this is another failed marriage. I just, I tried.
Yep.
But did you really?
Yep.
Did you really try? And we weren't on the edge of divorce.
No.
We from the get go, divorce wasn't an option for us because we'd been there and done that, and we're not doing that again.
But we just didn't want to be. We didn't want to be miserable.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a vibrant marriage. We wanted to be this close. And we weren't. We were like way over here. Yeah. Way 50 foot away all the time.
I think, it wasn't that we were not getting along. I think we just kind of got busy.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way, and
yeah,
he would do his thing and I would do mine, and we just slowly kind of got in our little worlds. And, we didn't realize how much we weren't talking until we went to that conference, and we're like, oh yeah, we don't talk.
We don't talk. But we do now, and we figured it out. We do have our times alone. She's a school teacher, so I can't stand behind her while she's doing her schoolwork because that would just be annoying. And she don't know Greek and she don't know how to translate the Greek New Testament, so she's kind of she don't really know what to do while I'm doing my Greek.
Well, we usually try to do, while he's working on his Greek stuff, I'll do my schoolwork. And we
course.
always,
Prepping for my Sunday school class or whatever.
yeah, we always try to make sure we come together at the end of the night. And if nothing else, sit and watch a TV show or,
Yeah.
sometimes some nights we read the Bible together and do our devotion. Some nights we just sit and watch a TV show. It just kind of depends. But we always come together on the couch and sit and just have some downtime together at the end of the evening. So we made that an intentional thing that we make sure we do that every night. That's something we've done since that marriage contract.
That's right. So that's our story and our goal. Again, our goal for this YouTube channel is to help you in your marriage and help you in your family. And even if you don't have a step family, if you got the normal family, the normal husband and wife were married one time, they've only been married once, and their kids are their kids. They don't have a blended family, but you're having issues. Let us know. We'll try to do our best to answer your questions. Because we are learning how to be a Christ-centered family, Christ-centered marriage, and Christ-centered family.
Well, and I just want to say, he said the reason we are doing this is because we want to help people. But when we went looking for resources for step family and ministries, we just didn't find any. And so, other than these books,
That's it.
and so we thought, well, we'll be that ministry.
We'll be that ministry.
We'll try to do what we can. Are we perfect? No. Do we make mistakes? Yeah.
Yep.
But we just feel like somebody needs to be out there supporting these blended families and showing them not how perfect we are and how much we know, but we can point you to the things that we've used to help us figure out what we're doing wrong and making things better.
And we would love to have a small group in person gathering to where people in our local community that are in these type of situations, these blended families, they have issues. We can get together and we can talk about it like a small group setting. But right now, that's just not happening. So we are here for you on YouTube right now.
Yep.
And maybe we'll expand to other avenues later. So that's it. We're going to end this with a couple of questions. So I'll ask you and then you can ask me. So the question for her is the final question is, what attracted you to me?
Well, the main thing that attracted me to him was I knew that he was a godly man and that he studied the Bible and loved the Bible and came to church and took church seriously. And that was the first thing. That's the first thing that attracted me. So,
And look, guys, that is not the one thing you think, well, I'm a good looking guy. I'm strong. I got money. I got a house. I got this. I got that. Surely she's going to want me for that. But at that Christian marriage conference, that wasn't the answer. Christian women, the number one thing they want a spiritual man. They want a spiritual leader. That's what they want. They want a godly man. So, not saying I'm perfect, but she saw that in me, and sometimes I wonder, why she saw that in me, but I don't know. But she did. So I'm thankful for that.
And I think, you were kind of starting your journey. You hadn't been too far into that Greek study at that point, had you? But, he was trying, and I could tell that he took it seriously. And, I always wanted that and hadn't had it up until then. So.
Well, anyway, so now what attracted me to you was your kindness. That was it, your kindness. She had that smile toward me and a friendly look and just sweetness toward me. Just a friendly, sweet demeanor towards me. Like she was genuinely interested in my welfare. She was sharing. Maybe it was coming from divorce care what she learned, and she was kind of sharing with me her situation and how she's handling divorce, and it kind of helped me handle it. And so she just was sweet on me from the beginning, and that's what got it for me. Her kindness towards me. So that's it. You got anything else to say? Can we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Well, hey, I hope this has been beneficial to you, talking about our story and our passion. We want demonstrate Christ-like marriage, and we want to help you know what a Christ-like marriage is, and we want to help you with family issues, especially blended families. If you have a blended family, or if you have any kind of family issues, let us know. We want to help you. So that's it. So thank you. Like and subscribe, and that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.